The African Union has condemned the terrorist attack in Mali. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a report.
The international response was not long in coming. The African Union, for example, condemned the barbaric acts of JNIM and FLA, emphasizing the need for collective efforts.
The President of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, strongly condemns the coordinated terrorist attacks carried out on July 4, 2026, against several localities in the north, center, and south of Mali. He emphasizes the need to strengthen collective efforts in favor of peace, security, and stability in full respect of international humanitarian law and with constant attention to the protection of civilian populations. The chairperson of the Commission reaffirms the unwavering commitment of the African Union to support the efforts of the Malian authorities, as well as regional and continental initiatives aimed at combating terrorism and promoting lasting peace in Mali and the Sahel.
As for the general situation, it remains under control according to the Malian authorities. Today in Aguelhok, attacks were repelled. On the outskirts of the locality, the forces on site observed significant destroyed military equipment, as well as the bodies of terrorist fighters.
According to the reports we're getting from Mali, fighting continues, but based on the reports from the Malian government, ladies and gentlemen, the Malian armed forces have been able to restore order in these theaters of operation.
And here, in aerial images, is the response of the Malian armed forces to the terrorists who attempted to simultaneously attack their positions yesterday in Aguelhok, Anefis, Gao, Sevare, and Katiroba. The FAMa delivered a remarkably precise response thanks to rigorous coordination between the various units involved. The drone strikes made it possible to locate, pursue, and neutralize several armed groups retreating after their offensives. The images bear witness to the effectiveness of this response. The strikes, carried out with formidable precision, achieved their objective by destroying vehicles, equipment, and several enemy positions. In the targeted areas, charred wreckage, plumes of smoke, and the marks left by explosions illustrate the scale of the losses inflicted on the attackers. Those who had chosen violence were overtaken in their flight by the firepower and intelligence capabilities of the FAMa. These operations once again confirm the growing strength of the Malian armed forces, now capable of combining intelligence, surveillance, and precision strikes in carrying out their missions both on land and in the air. They demonstrate an increasing mastery of modern combat resources and an ability to respond quickly and effectively to any attempt at destabilization.
Now, in another situation, we discovered that there is a nighttime combat going on between the Malian armed forces together with their Russian ally and the FLA and JNIM on the outskirts of Anefis. According to the information we have, the elements have been pushed out of Anefis, and some of them that were taking shelter within Anefis were seriously destroyed using the FPV capability. And now we are seeing even fiber optic drone being used by the Russian African Corps. But the most significant part of this operation is the nighttime combat mission that is being launched by the Russian African Corps. That said, ladies and gentlemen, in the afternoon we had a 15 convoy of FLA fighters that were neutralized. Then later on we saw another 30 group of motorized personnel that was neutralized by the Russian African Corps. But something is stand out in this operation, and to be honest, I'm surprised because the FLA has refused to leave the outskirts of Anefis. And this is making me ask a simple question. What is the mission here? What is the strategic objective? If you want to take Anefis and you are losing, right? The strategic objective have not been achieved. Why not leave and fight another day? Why, even in the face of FPV strikes like you can see in this video, like the capabilities that is even going to get them out of the battlefield is being struck. Now, you know, when you're fighting on the battlefield and the capabilities, the logistic capabilities that is going to, you know, take you to safety is getting neutralized, leaving the infantry is on the ground helpless. Now the thing is, how do you get out? A lot of people are saying that it is because the vehicles have been destroyed, that's why they are now standing to fight it out and all that. But I think maybe there is a chance that an instruction have been passed. You either win or you don't come back. So because I don't know why they staying to do what? That is the biggest question right now. And if you look at where the fighting is taking place, ladies and gentlemen, it's not even in the Anefis city, it's in the outskirts of Anefis. Now that said, we are getting information, and I'd like to really touch on this information. Convoys that were going to reinforce the ranks of the Malian armed forces in Anefis, right? These convoys were ambushed by the JNIM and the FLA, and according to the information we have, there was an helicopter that was on overwatch that was monitoring the convoy. Now what did we notice? We noticed that some of the vehicles in this convoy was ambushed, but here's the surprising thing: there was no troops, no personnel. According to the JNIM, no personnel was inside those vehicles. Now the thing I'm trying to understand here is that, was there an IED attack? Whatever happens, no Malian personnel or Russian personnel was in the vehicles that was ambushed, and the vehicles were set on fire. one of the vehicles was carrying fuel, the second vehicle was just carrying personnel. But according to the information we got later in the day, majority of the troops that actually started the journey have now got into Anefis, and they have resupplied the forces within the Anefis major military base. Now, they've not been able to capture any military base, they've not been able to capture any strategic location, not even land. Now we have a situation where the FLA have been shooting mortars to the military base in the Anefis region like we have here, and the troops are changing location as the FLA continue to fire into their base. But what we notice is that after the FLA fired one more shots, every personnel that were firing the rockets from that trench was completely devastated. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the video. Another third day, this is the information we have concerning the situation in Mali. Ladies and gentlemen, do well to give us your opinion on what you think. And I kind of think that the drone is doing a significant damage to the FLA and the JNIM. From what I'm seeing recently, we don't really have the presence of JNIM in the Anefis fight anymore. What we now have is some of the FLA, and now when you look at the way they are shooting and all of that, they are not really shooting like they used to. Now they are conserving their bullets, and this is where the logistic comes in. This is where the attritional metadata comes in. Who is bleeding out first, who is wasting resources first, who is calculative, who is educated, who is methodic about how to spend their resources, and who is going to get supplied the fastest. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, when some henchmen hang around the outskirts of a city and they arrogantly continue to fight without no pathway towards getting a logistic resupply, in my opinion, I think that's a suicide in the making. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly give us your opinion on what you think in the comments. Your boy 7200 signing out. No sir, but before I go, I really want to thank you for coming. God bless you.